Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the Monday, July 23rd, 2018 meeting of the Durham County Board of Commissioners. I apologize for our delay this evening. We are recessing from closed session, and the time is now 7:05. The Board of Commissioners asks its members and citizens to conduct themselves in a respectful, courteous manner, both with the board and fellow citizens. At any time, should any member of the board or any citizen fail to observe this public charge, the chair will ask the offending person to leave the meeting until that individual regains personal control. Should decorum fail to be restored, the chair will recess the meeting until such time that a genuine commitment to the public charge is observed. As a courtesy to others, please turn off cell phones during the meeting. And I would ask that we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, States of America, to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Okay, are there any adjustments to the agenda this evening? I think one adjustment is that we will need to return to closed session after. I will now share the announcements. Get hooked on Complete Streets. Learn about Complete Streets from a panel of experts from 8:30 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. or drop in and provide input on the draft Complete Streets policy tomorrow, July 24th, 2018, at the Durham Nativity School, which is at 1004 North Mangum Street. It's also Go Durham Routes 4 and 9. And this workshop is for staff, elected officials, community representatives. Light refreshments will be served. And for anyone who doesn't know what Complete Streets are, it's a way to include things like bike and pedestrian lanes in our streets and look at how streets can be for more than just cars and be more inclusive. So people are welcome to attend that. The county is seeking input on proposed redevelopment plans for East Main Street, and we are hosting community input sessions on the future redevelopment of our 300 and 500 East Main Street parking lots. There are 2 more sessions. One is coming up this Saturday, July 28th, from 10 to noon at our Criminal Justice Resource Center at 326 East Main Street. And there is a 3rd session on Thursday, August 2nd, from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Nehemiah Christian Center at 514 North Mangum Street. We really encourage people to come to these sessions and give us your input on 2 possible proposed mixed-use development plans that highlight affordable housing. And if you cannot attend, you can also go online on the Durham County website. There is a survey form that's also available. For more information, you can also contact Perry Manns at pmans@dconc.gov. Durham Neighborhood College makes a comeback. Residents looking to play a more active role in their neighborhoods and the Durham community can get their chance to learn more about the strategic plans in the 2018 Durham Neighborhood College. This is a class for residents to learn about organizations, operations, and services of city and county government. This had been on hiatus for a year, but it's back. It's a great program for people to learn in the community about what's happening in Durham City County government. You can apply online. It's a 7-week course. And please, you can look on the county's neighborhood college webpage. If you Google that, the application deadline is August 3rd. Just want to also remind everyone about our summer reading program, which continues through August 11th. And information about that is on the Durham County Library. Durham's input on zoning changes to expand housing choices. Fast-paced population growth, limited availability of developable tracts, and a renewed preference for in-town living has led to a housing availability and affordability challenge for Durham. And we are launching an effort, the City County Planning Department, to get input on possible changes that can help with the affordable housing situation by looking at Durham's existing zoning rules to help eliminate regulatory barriers and expand housing options. And the deadline for this survey is August 15th, 2018. You can look at the Durham Planning Department website for this. You can call Hannah Jacobson. Also, her email is hannah.jacobson@durhamnc.gov. Phone number is 919-560-4137, extension 28247. Really important for us to look at housing options. I just saw an article today about how Durham's lack of housing inventory is comparable to places now like Seattle and San Francisco. So we are up there with some larger cities in terms of what's going on. And all of this information can be found on Durham County website or by calling the clerk's office at 919-560-0025. Any other announcements from my fellow board members? Okay, seeing there are no other announcements, we will move on to our work session minutes for March 8th, our regular session minutes for June 11th, 2018, and regular session minutes for June 25th, 2018.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Reckow, seconded by Commissioner Howerton. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And the minutes are unanimously approved. I just wanted to point out, because the March work session was a while ago, those minutes, and I just wanted we could follow up at our upcoming work session, but there was a reference to updating the Park Center agreement, so we need to make sure we at our upcoming work session.
And the clerk and I talked about those minutes today. Actually, a few corrections made, but we need, she agrees, to get on a better track and have those coming. That all occurred prior
Right.
to coming on board. Not under her watch. Fell so far behind, but something needs to change. We'll discuss it, I guess.
Thank you. Okay, we have our citizen comment period, and we have one citizen that is signed up to speak. And all speakers have 3 minutes and are requested to refrain from addressing issues related to personnel matters, and to please state their name and address. And our person who is signed up to speak is Jackie Wagstaff. Welcome to the podium.
Oh, no. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Commissioner Jacobs, Chairman Jacobs, Commissioners, I'm coming before you today on a public matter that concerns reappointment to the board. I'm not here to, well, I am in a sense, and I'm not going to need these 3 minutes. I'm just going to take up 2 of your minutes. But I'm here to ask for your support on the reappointment to my position on the ABC board. It's imperative at this point for me to be reappointed because of the fact that I'm in line to sit on the state board, ABC Board of Directors. If I'm appointed to this board tonight, to be reappointed, I've only been on there 1 term. I think I've done a relatively good job. I've tried to follow all the rules. I attend the meetings. I have not, slacked on my responsibility. I've been fiscally responsible. But upon this appointment, I would be the first African-American female in North Carolina to sit on the ABC State Board of Directors. And I would be representing District 3, which encompasses Durham, but there would be 3 other counties involved in it. But Durham would be the most significant for me. And I feel like this appointment would give Durham more insight to how the ABC operates. We would have a voice now to see if there's fiscally that we can do things that could fiscally increase the outcome of what we present to the county each year. So I'm just asking the board, each of you 5 members, to consider supporting my reappointment for that Durham ABC board.
Thank you. Okay, seeing there are no other citizens signed up to speak, we will move on to some ceremonial items. We have a number of very special guests here with us this evening. And our first resolution is in honor of Mrs. Peggy Tapp. And if there are any members of her family that are here with us tonight, if you don't mind maybe coming up to the podium here or there, whichever you feel comfortable with at this point. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm going to read the resolution first, and then if you would like to also share any comments, we would be honored to have that. Thank you. Durham Board of County Commissioners resolution in honor of Mrs. Peggy Johnson Tapp. Whereas Mrs. Peggy Johnson Tapp, a Durham native, made her transition on April 10th, 2018, and whereas she was educated in Durham Public Schools, graduating from Hillside High School in the class of 1958, where she was crowned Miss Hillside in her senior year. And whereas Mrs. Tapp completed a year at North Carolina College, now NCCU, before leaving to work full-time for the Chicken Box, where she diligently worked to prepare and provide delicious traditional Southern meals for the community. And whereas, following her marriage to Claiborne Tapp Jr., the two ran this beloved family business, eventually renamed the Chicken Hut, which gained a reputation for sharing home-cooked foods to generations of families and college students in Durham. And whereas, for more than 60 years, Peggy Tapp was lauded for this successful culinary business which catered meals for a variety of church occasions, civic organizations, family gatherings, special events, and activities that were the hallmark of African American life in Durham and the surrounding areas. And whereas Mrs. Tapp was indeed a wise and thoughtful woman whose personality would light up a room, and whereas this gracious and phenomenal woman will long be remembered for her courage and her strength, her generosity to others, and her abiding love for her family and her community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of the Durham County Board of Commissioners, to hereby resolve to pay tribute to Mrs. Peggy Johnson Tapp. We call on this community to honor her memory by demonstrating love, kindness, and compassion to others. This, the 23rd day of July, 2018, Wendy Jacobs, Chair, James Hill, Jr., Vice Chair, Heidi Carter, Brenda Howerton, and Ellen Reck. We're honored to have you with us tonight, and if you don't mind introducing yourselves and sharing anything that you would like to share with us at this time.
Hey, my name is Claiborne Tapp III, and that was my mother. And on behalf of my family, my mother, the Chicken Hut, I would like to personally thank all of you for this tribute. It means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jeff Johnson. She was my aunt, my beloved aunt, and I would also thank the county commissioners for this award. So appreciate it. We work really, really hard. So, and thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to open up comments to my fellow board members because I know that there's a lot of people that would like to say something. Yes, Commissioner Howerton.
Thank you. I think everybody that is around me knows how selective I am about what I eat. And she just said, eat. She would just tell me, just eat food. She was an extraordinary woman, loving and kind and giving, and new in this community in 1986. She made sure that I ate. It didn't matter how picky I was. So I will always remember her, and I was at her going away service, and I think half of this community was there, packed the church, and talked about the heart of this woman and how she loved people and she loved taking care of people. So thank you for sharing her with us.
Commissioner Recco.
Well, you know, you hear up in our capital in Washington and in Raleigh too, that there's certain restaurants that the politicians go to meet and discuss. And over the years, the Chicken Hut was the place to go. It was the place where deals were struck and people gathered around a good plate of food and discussed, often trying to get to compromises. The good thing is, over a good meal, sometimes people will warm up to each other's ideas. So a lot of good compromises were struck at
Well, I'll just quickly say thank you for sharing your mother with us tonight and your aunt. The Chicken Hut used to cater the school board meals that we had with the families every month, and people loved the fried chicken. So I would say Chicken Hut is my favorite fried chicken, except for maybe it's in close competition with Omega Curtis Parker's fried chicken. Anyway, mainly thank you for sharing her with us tonight.
And I'll just add, I think, you know, that your mom and your aunt is really a legend in our community, and the Chicken Hut is really an institution. that was really founded on just a lot of hard work. Just incredible, the decades that she worked, and she obviously loved it well, and the people, or else she wouldn't have done it. And so I certainly hope that the Chicken Hut will continue, because as many commissioners have mentioned, that it's really food that is the heart of so many gatherings, and to think of the Chicken Hut really being at the center of so many events and conversations is really, I hope, something that gives you all a lot of consolation and pleasure at this time. And so we really just wanted to recognize her and your family and the Chicken Hut for being a part of our community. And you'll come and receive this resolution. Thank you. So fittingly, we have a second ceremonial item this evening, and I think looks like we're blessed with having a number of family members here, and fittingly, another great woman in our community, a resolution honoring the 100th birthday of Mrs. Cora Jones Boot McLeod, and I think we are honored to have her in our presence this evening as well. Wow. So I'm going to let Commissioner Hill have the honors of reading the resolution for you. And then we would love to also have all of you come up. We won't have you have to stand there. We'll wait till he's done. Thank you.
Yeah. Your mic
Your
isn't
mic's
working?
dead.
You want mine?
All right, we ready? Is that better?
It's better.
Great. Durham Board of County Commissioners resolution honoring Ms. Cora Jones Boot McLeod. Whereas Cora Boot Jones was born in Wake County in 1918, and whereas she moved to Durham with her family in 1932, where she attended school including DeSazer Beauty School, where she graduated in 1943, and whereas she married James Buster McLeod Sr. in 1936, later became mother to a son named James Jr. and a daughter named Denise Olivia. And whereas Ms. McLeod is the grandmother to 3 granddaughters and 4 great-grandchildren. And whereas following graduation from DeSazer as a top beautician, she partnered with 2 local cosmetologists to open Tip Top Beauty Shop on Pettigrew Street in the heart of the Hayti community. And whereas she and her business partners provided on-the-job training and professional leadership to many new beauticians until urban renewal interrupted Hayti's thriving business. Whereas following the construction of the Durham Freeway and closing of Tip Top Beauty Shop, Mr. and Ms. McLeod built an in-home salon named McLeod's Beauty Nook. And whereas McLeod's Beauty Nook successfully operated for more than 50 years, and whereas Ms. McLeod's family and friends desire to mark the special occasion of her 100th birthday with celebration of her life and history. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of the Durham County Board of County Commissioners, do hereby celebrate the 100th birthday of Ms. Cora Jones Boot McLeod. And we extend her heartfelt congratulations on her upcoming birthday, honor her exceptional longevity, and wish her years of continued health and happiness. This day, the 23rd day of July 2018. Wendy Jacobs Chair, James Hill Vice Chair, Heidi Carter, Brenda Howerton, and Ellen Reck.
Thank you all very much. You have given me something tonight to remember the rest of my life. Thank you again. With loving people like you in charge, I know Durham will be a better place to live. God has been good to all of us. So let's give him a hand of praise.
Mrs. McLeod, it's really such an honor to be able to see you and have you here to recognize your century birthday. It's really amazing. And we all, I think, aspire to be like you if we have the opportunity to live to be 100 years old, to see you here with your family, your children, your grandchildren, and just would like to let any of your family members who would like to speak as well. We really appreciate all of you coming here tonight. And I just want to give anyone a chance to speak.
We have 4 of her great-grandchildren here, and introduce yourself.
My name is Khalil, and my grandma is the nicest person I've met, and I don't know what it would be like to not have her here.
Go ahead and say something.
I like Granny.
All right. Taylor? And she has 2 of her granddaughters here, Crystal and Carlisha. Hold tight. I'm her great niece. My grandfather is her big brother, Budger, and I'm helping her write her autobiography. So everybody in here should get a copy of A Century of Living, the autobiography of Miss Cora Jones Boot McLeod. Thank you very much. It'll be out in November.
Thank you.
All right, last but not least. What's your name?
Tell them your name.
Taylor.
And what do you want to say?
Oh, God. Don't use that loud.
Thank you all
Well, thank
so much
you.
for
If
this
you'll,
honor.
and whoever would like to come, and please accept this resolution on behalf of our board.
She has a little bit of stage fright. It would be great if my grandma can help me with my homework and stuff. She's the best grandma in my world.
Amen, amen.
My name is Hassan, and it is a blessing to have my grandma in my life. And if something happened to her, I will always pray for her for every night and every day.
So two great role models as female entrepreneurs in the African American community here. 2 institutions here for us to celebrate. Okay, we now just looking at our agenda here tonight, we actually had removed 18 dash, I'm sorry, Perry, you were not probably, you maybe were not on that email. And I apologize. We're going to remove item 18-0887, and will be on our August work session. So I apologize on that item. And we have, so we have items 18-0897 through 18-0916 on our consent agenda this evening.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Reckow, seconded by Commissioner Howerton. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And the consent items are unanimously approved. We have a number of public hearings tonight. And the first is 18-0909 to consider allocating economic development investment funds to AVSIS, I'm pronouncing that correctly, Incorporated. And we do have one person signed up to speak. Jeff Durham is signed up to speak on this item. And I guess we also have Andy Miracle here and Jay Gibson, and we'll start with, we'll just start with the staff report on this issue, and then we'll open the public hearing. So Andy, thank you for being with us, our Economic Development Director.
Hi, good evening, Commissioner Jacobs. Thank you for having us here tonight. So we have 3 public hearings tonight where we're looking to recognize local match funds for JDIG awards. So we have 3 altogether. You mentioned the first one, which is Avexis, and I can just kind of quickly address the parameters of all 3, if that's all right.
Okay, that's fine.
Sure thing. Okay, so for Avexis, we are looking to provide a local match of $175,000. These were funds that were donated to the county that we are recognizing so that we can provide our diligence in the state award. The match is being provided by Clarion Partners. And as you know, Avexis is a clinical stage gene therapy company that develops treatments for rare and life-threatening neurological diseases. And they will locate a new manufacturing center in Durham County with an investment of $55 million and looking to create 200 new jobs. Speaking to Labcorp, it is a similar situation where it is a local match of $220,000. That is a donation provided by Carlin Real Estate. Labcorp is a world-class clinical laboratory and drug development services, and they are looking to create 422 new jobs and invest $30 million in Durham County. And third, local match that we are holding a public hearing for is in relation to Census USA. It is a local match of $50,000, and Census USA is a provider of advanced metering technologies to utilities and municipalities. They are looking to invest $4 million in the county and create 301 new jobs as well. And the 4th public hearing is in relation to a contract amendment with Austin Lawrence Partners East. And this would simply push back the date of completion that was in the last amendment was July 1st of 2018. And as mentioned in the AAF notes, there were some issues with their mechanical contractor going out of business, and then the chief cause of the delays preventing the July 1st completion date. So this is simply pushing back the date of completion to January 1st, 2019.
Okay, thank you very much. So,
I had a question.
yeah. Commissioner Greco.
Thank you for the overviews, Andy. The one thing I didn't see in the staff write-up was the location where these 3 firms.
Let's see, I believe Labcorp is in Armour RTP site. And if Jeff, would you like to speak to that, please? Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. Good evening, everyone. Yes, the Xylem, the census is in Keystone Park, and you'd mentioned that Labcorp is at the Palmer site, RTP, and Avexis is in Research Tri-Center. Research Tri-Center?
Tri-Center, and that's
Right around right around RTP.
right around RTP. Okay, thank you very much.
Commissioner Howerton.
And so one of the things that I didn't see was the qualifications for these jobs, or do you have any idea what the qualifications will be for the jobs? You mentioned for each company, there are quite a few jobs, but I didn't see anything in the write-up about qualifications for people to be able to apply for these.
That is correct. We don't really have that information at this time, but as that becomes available, I can certainly circle back and provide that for you.
The first one of Texas is if they're locating a manufacturing center. So those may be jobs that may not, have substantial qualifications beyond school. So it'd
Yeah,
be
but
really
we-
interesting to know
But
about.
we need to, we need to know so that we can inform the community what it is that companies are looking for.
Absolutely. And we can certainly circle back and provide that.
I have a question, Andy, about the amended agreement with Austin Lawrence Partners. It says that they will, what the community benefit is worth $40,000 will be determined by June 30th, 2020. It's discussed on pages 2 and 3 of the agreement. So will you be the person monitoring that on our end in terms of?
That is correct. The way it's set up in the contract is that they will propose or pass those proposals on to me about what those plans are to best reach the terms of the agreement, and then I will parlay that information to you for approval. So essentially, we have a 3-year window to meet that threshold that's outlined in the contract.
3-year, you mean 2-year?
Oh, correct, 2 years.
Okay. And will you work with the city on that? Is that going to be something that's done jointly or separately?
That is correct. The proposals will be submitted to the city and the county at the same time.
Okay.
There'll be 2 separate projects, one for the city and one for the county?
Not necessarily.
So it could be a larger joint project?
I think they would, I think the intent is to submit a project, and so we could both have approval on one project, or seemingly the city could find approval and maybe we don't. But either way, we're looking to get to the local match amount, and I certainly think there's potential there for us both to find agreement in what those proposals are.
Okay, so I will now open up the public hearing, and I guess we'll do them jointly. So for 18-0909, 18-0910, 18-0911, and 18-0914, I will open up the public hearing for all 4. And we have Jeff Durham, who has signed up to speak on 3 of them. So if he would like to come to the podium, thank you.
So you're going to extend the time limit?
We can do that, sure.
Because, people might have assumed.
Yeah. Well, I think he's the only person who signed up to speak as well.
I'll, where I'm saying similar items as far as our outreach to Durham Technical Community College and Works, I'll kind of summarize those. But I think probably what would be best if I just went through each of the companies, give a high-level view of those. After they conclude those 3, I'll sort of make a blank statement of all of them, if that's okay.
Oh, you have 6 minutes.
I'll see if I can't spare us, and I'll see if I can't get us in about 3, okay? As long as we start now, and the first part doesn't count. So anyway, good evening, Chair Jacobs and members of the Durham County Board of Commissioners. As y'all mentioned, I'm Jeff Durham, the President and CEO of the Greater Durham Chamber of Commerce. This evening, we have a few guests. Representing Avexis tonight is Jack DiNardo, consultant for C.B. Richard Ellis. Unfortunately, consultants for Labcorp actually called away at the last minute and have to deal with something urgent, but otherwise they were certainly hoping to be here to be participants this evening. And then also from Census this evening is Todd Boyle, our VP, the VP for Human Resources, and Aton Branch, the site manager for Census. So thank you both for making time this evening to come out and join us. As far as this, Avexis is concerned, as Andy had mentioned, Avexis is a clinical stage biotech company that's focusing on bringing gene therapy products to the market to help patients and family devastated by rare diseases affecting children. It should be noted that Avexis is an excellent addition to the base of our life science manufacturing companies, and those 200 manufacturing jobs, bringing them into the community, will continue to broaden Durham's base of biomanufacturing. Avexis will be joining other gene therapy companies such as Bamboo Therapeutics and Bluebird Bio, which opened recently in the past year or so. It's important to note, please, that having a range of biomanufacturing companies in turn creates a career ladder for workers, and biomanufacturing provides them with a path for continued career advancement and professional growth. Jumping over to the folks from Labcorp. Labcorp has actually been a member of the Durham business community for more than 2 decades, and they're an integral part of our healthcare and life sciences industry clusters. And they currently employ about 1,000 workers whose educational attainment ranges anywhere from high school to PhD graduates. Labcorp will be planning to add 422 new jobs as a result of their recent expansion. Labcorp does provide complex lab and testing and drug development services to large volumes of people with extreme accuracy, and the company now employs more than 60,000 workers worldwide. So say that because they could have really expanded just about anywhere, so we're fortunate they decided to expand here in Durham. Labcorp is leasing 220,000 square feet Parmer RTP, along with the recent leasing activity down there. It provides the Parmer site with a positive momentum that seeks to move ahead with an amenity package. Further, corporate interest in leasing space at the Parmer RTP will be boosted by Labcorp's decision to locate in the park. And then third, Xylem is Census, which is a division of Xylem. They plan to continue growing in Durham by adding another 301 jobs here to more than what exists already at 600 jobs. This is particularly impressive growth since Census has only been established, I guess, as recently as 2002. So that's incredible growth, something we should be very proud of to have them here in our business community. So this is an example of another existing company that is expanding at Keystone Technical Park, which speaks to the quality of the workforce this the company has found in the Durham and Triangle community. Census is a provider for smart meters, communication systems, and services, electric, gas, water, in industries worldwide. The company provides water management solutions of advanced metering technologies to better monitor water flow in communities. And so I think that that's somewhat significant without beating you guys up too bad about this. I think it's somewhat significant because in these days of national and global water shortages, the ability to monitor and control water flow and distribution to the at-risk communities can be critically important. So it's wonderful work you all are doing for the Durham community. We're proud to have you do that here. As I've been trying to compartmentalize all the various clusters we're addressing here today, Census contributes to an impressive clean tech cluster found in the Triangle, and it's important to see the growth in multiple industries as we continue to work on a diverse and resilient economy. So that being said, about all of these new job opportunities, all of these great companies that we're fortunate to have here expanding, with all projects, I think it's very, very important to note that Durham Technical Community College will be partners with us as we make sure we plug them into every process as we find how they can best customize industry training so that their students, our citizens, can take advantage of these opportunities. We'll also introduce each of these companies into the NC Work Center to make sure that we're actively recruiting members for these jobs. So please know it's important that we know that the Chamber does appreciate your support and know that we will work hard to maximize these benefits of each of these 3 projects for Durham.
Thank you, Jeff. Any other commissioners who have comments? Commissioner Carter?
Well, I just wanted to start by saying it's especially pleasing to approve incentives when we're utilizing money that was donated from others via the Chamber. So thanks for working on that, Chamber of Commerce. And then I have a couple of questions. So, and Jeff, I think I'll probably they're for you, most likely, if that's okay. One was, I was really trying to write down the 3 career clusters, and I got the biomanufacturing, I think was one of Axis, and then census was the clean tech cluster, and is LabCorp just it's biotech, what would we call it?
I think referred to lab tech as biomanufacturing. Is that correct?
Okay.
So there's a fair amount of cross-section with each of our industry clusters within these.
Okay, well, they sound excellent.
Thank you.
When would it be the appropriate time, I'm not sure who should answer this, when would it be the appropriate time, though, to ask about what the plans are for each of these companies to hire Durham-based businesses, to do their best, to hire Durham-based businesses and Durham County residents, with even with a particular outreach to minorities? I don't know when, I'd like to ask that question, and I don't know when I'm supposed to ask it or not supposed to ask it. I know we can't require anyone we give incentives to hire Durham-based businesses, but I do think we can ask, what are the plans to do so? So I'd like to do that.
Well, I can tell you this, that as soon as we start understanding exactly the folks, what their expansion plans are, the one thing that we do have the benefit is somewhat advance notice. We can make sure the moment that we have plans solidified that we reach out to the folks at Durham Technical Community College, making sure that they are aware of the nature of the positions, making sure that we tie in our business partners appropriately, so if there's an opportunity to inform a curriculum that maybe does not already exist, that we can do that. So really what I can tell you is that as soon as the information becomes available to us and plans become solidified, we'll be able to pass that on in a very, very timely manner. And please know that we all share what your thoughts are on making sure that we provide these opportunities to the Durham community, and the best way we can do that is to make sure that our training and educational institutions are well equipped to not deal with just the jobs that are here today, but more importantly, the jobs that will be here tomorrow as well.
Can I
I just want to make
ask
sure
a
that
question that has to do with what you just said?
Sure.
So my question is, does Durham Tech already have the training courses for these types of jobs?
Yes, by and large, those do exist here already, especially as I understand the logistics of the manufacturing.
Already
I apologize for stepping away. And Ted said something very, very important as well about the inclusivity piece from how we're recruiting. Would you like to share that with the commissioner?
We recognize the importance of the inclusive aspect of economic development, and we've already started reaching out to the companies, and we're in dialogue now. So we've understand the importance, and we've embraced that as
well. At some point in the future, I think this is probably the work that our board needs to do. But as a follow-up to sort of our initial discussions that we've had on our economic development policy, I think we need to continue thinking about that and what sorts of requirements, for lack of a better word, we want to put in our policy regarding, the formality of a plan, a Durham-based business plan and a workforce plan.
Well, when we had the expert from the Institute of Government speak to us about weeks ago, I took notes, and there was one key point he said. Andy, you might remember it. We have to tread a very fine line, but I think he said that we could ask or even require companies to provide interviews to residents who are qualified for their jobs. Wasn't it something like
that? Is correct. And also just to put that in the context of, the awards that we're talking about tonight, these are local match for JDIG awards, right, as compared to kind of straight up county and CITM awards, where, right, I think we have more flexibility to kind of implement those ideas, whereas the conditions of these agreements are a bit more laid out for us.
But I'm just saying that was, we have to be careful, but he did say that from a legal view, it was his considered legal opinion that you could ask a to say that. But
And I'm not even asking for anything that specific. I'm just asking, well, what are the strategies, you're planning to use? And I'm not asking for an answer tonight, but as I say, this is as much the work of our board as it is, for you all right now, but it's good for you to know, what we're thinking, what our values are around that. And clearly, this is, a critical issue for us. And so any sorts of formal plans around inclusivity in this economic growth for our community would be fantastic going forward.
And I would just add, Commissioner Carter, that we're definitely looking to follow up on that conversation from June in the coming months. We got some good follow-up information from our presenters, and then especially speaking from benchmarking that we saw and some kind of new ideas that we can apply to the revised.
Right.
So we'll be looking to have that conversation in the coming months.
Great. Thanks, everybody. It's very exciting news overall.
Commissioner Hill.
Sure. I understand the importance of regional growth, and that we are a region that we're not going to build walls, we want to build bridges. However, it is imperative that Durham residents, Durham citizens know when these jobs come online, know what training is required before it comes online. And I'm glad that the training is being done at Durham Technical Community College. I think that's great. But we do need information. It does need to be spread far and wide. And we need to make sure that if we can do that, the interview process, that we make sure that Durham residents get interviews, especially Durham residents that may be involved in the justice. Thank you.
Commissioner Recco.
Well, I want to really thank the Chamber for spearheading the work around this and finding these private matches. Most of these companies are going into existing buildings, so it's not a large investment, although it's an important investment in our community. And as a result, it would have been harder under our policy. Actually, it wouldn't have applied with our policy to provide an incentive. So I really appreciate the creative solution. And I want to particularly thank Ted Connor, because I've heard that Ted is retiring. And I really want to thank Ted. I've worked with him for decades, and he really knows economic development, and we really appreciate your work over many years. And I remember, and we have an example of this here tonight with Census, where Ted always used to say, it's sweet to attract a new firm, but it's even sweeter to see an existing firm expand in Durham. And we have an example of that tonight. So that's we have a lot to celebrate, but we particularly appreciate a firm like Census doing so well in Durham that they are expanding and needed.
So I will just add, first of all, is that true, Ted? This is news to me. Is this true about you retiring? Okay.
I'd already heard it too, Wendy, so.
Well, if that's true, well, congratulations.
I was
Ted.
waiting for him to tell us. You know,
Okay.
you hear lots of stuff, but I was waiting for him to confirm it.
Okay, well, I had not said congratulations and thank you, as Commissioner Recco said, for all of your many decades of hard work and service, of everything you've done to contribute to our local economy. I just want to kind of echo what has been said. So people understand that we are benefiting with these at least 3 projects from state funding, the JDIG funding, which is the Jobs Development Investment Grant funding. So we are benefiting from a lot of state money coming in to help us keep these companies here. So that is great. And having virtually the benefit of, thanks to the Chamber, of people coming in and helping us with the local match. So Durham residents are really benefiting on both ends. And if we look at the combined number of jobs, we're talking about 923 jobs with these three projects and a total of $89 million worth of new investment. So this is fantastic. We don't take this for granted. And that I just recently, a lot of us were at a national conference, and I went to a workshop called Gardening Economics. And basically the gist of the workshop was that it's the most important thing is to look at your small businesses and your existing companies and to make sure that you are supporting them. And I think this is a great example of that, because we're not even talking about how many jobs these companies already provide and what their investment already is in our community, and if they chose to go somewhere else. So a lot of times we're focused on recruiting new companies to come here, but this is in a lot of ways much more important. So as you heard, we want to do what we can to create a strong pipeline so that we are doing whatever we can to put Durham residents in a position where they can serve all of your companies and be the skilled and great employees that you're looking for. We want to do what we can to make sure that we are meeting your needs as employers and doing what we can to make that communication happen, which it unfortunately doesn't always happen. People don't necessarily know about the job or know how to apply for them. So we appreciate all the efforts that you can help with the chamber to make sure that happens. So I would, if you don't mind, I'm going to now close the public hearing. And we have now these three different,
I think we could probably should vote
do
on
them separately. Okay. So going back to first one, 18-0909.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Howard and second by Commissioner Reckow. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And the Avexis, I'm still not saying this.
That's the one we just.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get the name right. That is unanimously approved. 18-0910.
Approval?
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, seconded by Commissioner Carter. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And the Labcorp incentive is unanimously approved. And then we have 18-0911 for census.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Reckow, seconded by Commissioner Howerton. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the census incentive is unanimously approved. And last, we have 18-0914, which is the amendment to the Austin Lawrence Partners East LLC agreement.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Reckow, seconded by Commissioner Howerton. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that amendment is unanimously approved. Okay. We now have board and commission appointments for this evening.
Madam Chair, it does concern me that among all the primary and secondary nominations, the production district, there was one Durham resident.
Well, that was interesting. Whose recommendations was?
Those are from the art. But unfortunately, it goes to part of the reason we're urging try to hire Durham residents. The percentage of residents of a lot of these companies is relatively low.
And we're going to get new recommendations for 2018 soon, so I'm not sure what we'll see with that. But you know, you want to...
Perhaps
Yeah.
maybe I'll send Scott an email to see if they can find anyone from Durham. Could be because when they're discussing issues around commuting to work and whatever, it would be nice to have a Durham voice around the table.
That was
Madam Chair, I've got the results of your vote. For the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board, you could select 2 individuals. You've selected Ryan Uriquart and Beverly Thorpe. For the Convention Center Authority, you could select 1 person. You selected Craig Spitzer. For the Criminal Justice Advisory Committee, you could select 1 individual. You selected Mario House. For the Dangerous Dog Appeal Board, you could select 1 person. You selected Matrio Kiambio Rio. For the Durham Wake County's Research and Production Service District, you could select 3 individuals. You've selected Chris Buckholtz, Ginger Dossier, and Karen Long. For the Environmental Affairs Board, you could select 1 individual. You've selected Laura Marie Davis. For the Library Board of Trustees, you could select 1 individual. You selected Hank Hensley. And for the Sports Commission, you could select 1 person, and you selected Bill Calcott. Those are the results of your votes.
Yeah. We are now going to recess back to
I'm missing my phone. Would my phone?
Brenda has to look.
Okay with whatever y'all want to do.
So why don't you look at it real quick? And just initial maybe 2 or 3 that you really, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll work with Terry on coming up with the route. We have adjourned from closed session, and I would entertain a motion to set the salary for the county attorney at $204,811, effective the anniversary date.
Move.
Moved by Commissioner Recca, seconded by Carter. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay.
And the motion has carried 4-1. And we are now adjourned.